Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla. Today we are doing a bridal handkerchief and I'm actually really excited about this for two reasons. One, I've never done embroidery on a handkerchief before, and two, this handkerchief is actually from Ireland, and you can see we've already done the embroidery. I'm doing my intro after the fact, and so I'm going to show you exactly how I hooped it, what I used, what thread I used, the whole nine. But I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to take you guys along for the whole process. Before I started, I actually did a sample stitch out for my customer just to make sure she liked the size, the font, the placement, everything. So I sent her a picture of this, and then I also sent her a picture of the printout like on the handkerchief so that she could visually see what it was going to look like on the hanky. So yeah, I got her approval and then I stitched it out. It took me just a couple minutes to stitch out. I used 60 weight thread, a 65.9 needle. I use 65.9 for everything, so that's nothing new, but the 60 weight thread is clutch because it is a smaller font. I will link the font down below that I used. I forget off the top of my head what I used, but I do know that it was a 1/4 inch tall. It was a 0.25 inch tall font. That's what I needed for it to fit perfectly in the corner above that lace. And it was perfect. I tried like a 1/2 inch and it was just way too big. So 1/4 inch font was absolutely perfect for this. Another way that you could do it if you don't have a 1/4 inch font but you know the size that you want, like say you know that you need like a 3x3 square of the font and it's going to be small, just make sure you tell your digitizer this is going on a very delicate thin bridal handkerchief. I'm using a 60 weight font, I'm using a 65.9 needle, and they will digitize it accordingly. So other than that, I'm using my 5x5 freestyle stand from Mighty Hoop along with my 5x5 hoop, of course. Use code STITCHENVY to get free shipping. And then I'm using tearaway stabilizer. I'm using just a tiny bit of spray adhesive just to tack the hanky onto it to make sure it doesn't slide. The only reason I have my heat tape out is because I used it to place my design onto the handkerchief. And I think that's everything that I used. So let me show you guys how I hooped it, and then I'll take you over to the machine. Okay, so I'm gonna put the bottom of my hoop in and my stabilizer. There we go. Okay, so here we have our handkerchief. So I'm just going to lay this on. And on my printout, I'm going to line up the vertical line with the line that's on the freestyle stand. I'm not necessarily looking at like the top of the hanky because I don't think this is like a perfect square. So I'm just going off of this corner and my text because I know I have it exactly where I want it. So I'm really just going off of that. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. I'm gonna very lightly spray some basting adhesive underneath the hanky. I'm not gonna do too much, just enough to tack the hanky down onto the stabilizer. Okay, I'm going to place the top of my hoop. Straighten it out if you need to. If you think it's not perfectly straight. And snap, and I am actually very happy with that placement. I'm going to pull the hanky a little bit tighter just to get rid of some of these folds that I have, like right here. Don't want to pull it too tight because I don't want to get puckering. So I'm really happy with that placement. So I'm going to go ahead and line up my needle number 1 right there on the center, and it's going to stitch right where I have it. So let's go to the machine. Okay, so I'm going to place it on. Line up needle number 1 with the center point. And now I'm gonna trace. And then I'm gonna contour trace just to make sure I'm not hitting that lace. I wanna make sure I'm just right above it. Looks good. So I'm carefully gonna remove my paper, flatten down any areas I think I need to. And I'm using a 65-9 needle, and I'm gonna be running this at, I think I might go down to 550. I have it at 600 right now, but I think I might go down to 550 just because this is super delicate. I kind of just want to take it low and slow and be safe. So I'm gonna go down to 550 and we're gonna stitch it out. And then I'm gonna be pausing and cleaning up the long threads as I go. I still have not fixed that issue, so I'm just gonna be pausing it and clipping those as it goes so I don't have so much to do at the end. So let's go ahead and stitch it out. So here it is all finished and cleaned up. I think it turned out absolutely amazing. I am very happy with it. It looks black, but it's navy. It's so gloomy in here, it's hard to tell. I also cleaned up the back, got all of the stabilizer off, and then I'm just gonna go through and clip these threads real carefully. But all in all, I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I hope she loves it. Okay, editing Kayla here. I wanted to make a comment about the date real quick because I know I'll get comments about it. So they actually got married last year. I want to say in another country. I'm not sure if it was Ireland where this was purchased or what, but since it's a year later, they are having like another like wedding ceremony with family this weekend. So this is the actual date that they got married, but they are celebrating with family here in the United States this weekend. So that's why it says 2023 and not 2024. I actually did have to clarify with them because I just, wanted to make sure that it was the right date, but it's correct. They got married on this date last year, which is funny because this is actually my husband's birthday. But yes, this is the correct date. It is not wrong. They're just finally celebrating here in the States with family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned how to do a bridal handkerchief. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have any questions or just say hi, and I will see you in my next video.